Hi, welcome to Literature 11 or World Literature with me, Miss Moncada. So, today we were talking about Shakespeare sonnets in the video conference in Google Meet. However, some students were not able to join due to signal and other technical issues. So, for these students to be able to catch up, I'm making this quick summary of the discussion. So first, let's look at the structure of Shakespeare sonnets. So a sonnet has 14 lines, all right? And there are actually 3 quatrains or 3 sets of 4 lines and 1 couplet at the end. And then the rhyming scheme is A, B, A, B, C, D, C, D, E, F, E, F, G, G. So we're talking about the end rhymes. So for example, like A, B, the first 2 lines, my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun, so you have sun. And then second line, coral is far more red than her lips is red. That's from Sonnet 130. So sun and then red. Then line 3 ends with done, which rhymes with the first line, sun. And then you have red, which rhymes with the last word of the 4th line, which is head. Now, so the rhythm is also using iambic pentameter. So 5 pairs of unstressed and stressed syllables. So da 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 da. So such as, for example, in Sonnet 116, all right. Oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. And so it's unstressed and then stressed. So that's the pattern. So it's kind of difficult, it's challenging to create a sonnet because of these technicalities, at least the Shakespearean sonnet. There are actually different types of sonnets. The sonnet started in the 13th century in Italy, and one of the most popular Italian poet is Petrarch, who wrote for a woman named Laura. Alright, and in fact in Romeo and Juliet, Petrarch was mentioned, and Romeo was compared by Mercutio to Petrarch because he was overly romantic and the way he spoke was in a Petrarchan poetry. Alright, so Shakespeare used it as a way to give contrast and to show character development. Alright, so anyway, in Shakespeare's collection of sonnets, there are 154 poems, and it was written between 1590 to early 1600s, and it was published by Thomas Thorpe. So sonnets have no titles, just the numbers and the first line. So that's how we associate them. So we say Sonnet 116, let me not to the marriage of true minds. And so it has no official title. All right. And then Sonnets 117 is actually about a young man, and then 18 to 126 probably still addressed to a young man, and then 127 to 154 is about a dark mistress. So there's like a change in the addressee. Alright, so by the way, in a poem, there are actually there are 2 entities that we need to consider. There's the persona, the the character that is talking in the poem. He or she is not necessarily the poet, because the poet can take on a persona. And then aside from the persona, there's the addressee. So the addressee is the person or character for whom the poem is written, and to whom the persona is talking with or talking to. Okay, so the addressee. So why do you think Shakespeare wrote sonnets? So in one of the videos that I shared in YouTube, there's like a short discussion also about the sonnets from CrashCourse, and he quoted this line from one of the sonnets: "Not marble nor the gilded monuments of princes shall outlast this powerful rhyme." So in short, what does it mean? That, you know, we all die, people die, but poetry lives on. Poetry is forever. And in fact, I don't know if you've found this on on Facebook, but I have seen a meme which says something like, when a writer falls in love with you, you cannot die, because you will be immortalized in the pieces of writing of this writer. Okay, diba? So let's proceed to Sonnet 116. So Sonnet 116 is best known. It is the best known and most beloved of the 154 poems, and of course because it talks about one of the most important things in life, and probably the second most important question in life, which is, what is love? All right. So that is the thesis question of Sonnet 116. And Shakespeare in this sonnet tries to give us an answer of what he believes to be true of what love means. Okay. And in short, I mean, his conclusion, his belief is that love is forever. Wow. And he spends the entire sonnet discussing that. Okay. So, he believes that, like, let's start with the first line. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. He believes that, when two people truly love each other, there's like a compatibility, not just of attraction, but, of thinking, of philosophy, the way we think. Then we love also sincerely. We love each other sincerely. Then there's no possibility of, getting some interruption or getting something in the middle. So nothing can get in between two people who truly love each other. That's what he means. And in the next line, in the next two lines of the quatrain, of the first quatrain, he actually plays with words. So first he says, love is not love, which alters when it alteration finds, or bends with the remover to remove. So there's like a comparison, diba? There's a shift as well. Nga, alters and then alteration, bends, alters and then alteration, then remover, remove. So there's that shift in the form of the words, which to me means nga kanang the persona acknowledges that, that life includes changes, that things can change. But that's why he starts the sentence with, love is not love, which is found in line 2. Love is not love if it changes when it alteration finds. Okay? And when it bends with the remover to remove. So such as when there are temptations, diba? So when there are temptations, or when there's someone who seduces another, so cheating happens, when mga third party situations, that's what it means. So next, in the next quatrain, he gives metaphors on what love is. All right, so because love doesn't just change, right? Love doesn't change for anything, for anybody. So he makes it clear in the second quatrain. That's why he says, oh no, it is an ever fixed mark that looks on tempests and is never shaken. So love therefore is fixed, it is constant, it faces tempest storms in our lives, and it never budges. It doesn't change no matter the challenges, no matter the difficulties. All right. And then in the next quatrain, he says, no, not quatrain, but the next two lines of the second quatrain. It is the star to every wandering bark, whose words unknown, although its height be taken. So the persona compares love to a star, and the persona is the bark, wandering bark. It's not a bark of a ship, but the bark of a tree, but it's a ship. So there's the symbolism of navigation, which is actually kind of quite beautiful, diba? Because in life we are sort of just navigating. We're just like, swimming, going with the flow. But the star is the guide, and so love is the guide. So according to one of the students during the discussion, love can be like that indeed, because when you're in the right relationship and somebody truly loves you, you become the best version of yourself. You are guided by that person to be who you are, right? Not something that you just contrive in a negative sense, but somebody who can really make you better, and that, which is beautiful, lovely. And then now whose words unknown, although his height be taken. You cannot really fathom that. You cannot really measure it by number. It just happens, okay, and it changes your life. And then in the next quatrain, love here is now compared to time. All right, and Shakespeare says, love's not time's fool, though rosy lips and cheeks within his bending sickle's compass come. Which means that love is not a slave to time. Whatever happens, whatever changes, whether our hair turns gray, tiguang na ta, manimaw na yung yuta, or whatever, diba, time Time makes us change. We grow old. Our thinking changes as well over time. But love doesn't, doesn't just change because of these changes. It is not fickle like that. And it bears it out even to the edge of doom. Love alters not with its brief hours and weeks, but bears it out even to the edge of doom, even until death. Right? So that's why in the wedding vows, there's till death do us part. And I think in that sense, Shakespeare is intertextualizing, referencing that particular line from the wedding vow. And yeah, because if you truly love someone, no matter how long or short you have stayed in that relationship, right? The feeling will remain. Even after death, you will still love that person. And even if we haven't experienced that personally, I'm sure we have seen or we know someone who has experienced that. And so he concludes with this couplet: if this be error and upon me proved, I never writ nor no man ever loved, which is actually a powerful challenge to critics who would say that, your poem is not true or you're wrong. Because he says, if it's wrong, then you can prove it to me. Then it's, tabla ra nga wala ako nagsulat nga, wala po'y nahigugma. Which is not true, right? Because he wrote the poem and people have loved. I'm sure you and I already experienced being in love. So, in short, Shakespeare is trying to tell us that what he believes to be true of love is indeed true. Yay. Beautiful. So now let's proceed to Sonnet 130. Sonnet 130. The addressee in Sonnet 130 is a dark lady. So, appeal na ni siya katong section sa collection nga addressed na to a dark lady. And it is a gentle parody of traditional love poetry. And in here, Shakespeare compares his mistress to someone else, right? Like the ideal woman, which is often the ideal woman who is often defined in overly romantic love poetry. So in short, Sonnet 130 is a gentle parody of traditional love poetry. So it goes against it goes against or makes fun of cliched images, mga cliche nga mga metaphors and similes about love, which we often hear from people like kanang eyes like the sun, mga inana. Mana, iyang gisugdan with one of the most common, comparing the eyes to the sun. Alright, so he compares his mistress using the different aspects of her, the different parts of her body, to someone who is ideal. Alright, and to something as well. So inana siya. So using metaphors, he compares his lady, his mistress, with the ideal woman based on traditional love poetry, such as Petrarchan poetry. So for example, my mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. So ngano di eyes like the sun, do dapat bright, sparkling, but yung mistress eyes kay di man daw. So I don't know, maybe ordinary lang yung eyes, right? And then coral is far more red and lips is red. So isa man luspad, sumurag kung ikaw tingali ma-shock ka ba la. Ano inanam siya ka harsh mag-compare. If snow be white, why then her breasts are done? So lagom siya skin, charot. So nganong breasts man, not necessarily nga ang breast nga but take note nga during Renaissance period, ilang mga sinina tag-asilag sleeves. And then ang makita sa ladies, lang jud, ang face lang and then ang decolletage. So that's what he's trying to say, nga ang diri lang dapita, mag-makeup biya. So ari lang dapita, makita niya nga, oy, laguman siya or di siya kayo bright og skin, okay? Di siya healthy looking og skin. And then if hairs be wires, black wires kun sa hair. So cheeks not as red as rose, bitaw? So the entire poem talks about these comparisons. And in fact, he compares the breath of this mistress to perfume nga his mistress says breath thou reeks meaning baho. Alright, so, bad breath si lady, si mistress. And then the sound of her voice is compared to music, nga bati daw siya kuan. So and then the last one is the way she walks, nga instead of walking like a goddess, she walks by treading on the ground. So I don't know, maybe she drags her feet. Or, I don't know, somebody said it earlier, basin bakang, maybe, I don't know. But she definitely doesn't walk like a goddess. She doesn't walk properly. So in the entire kind of three quatrains, Shakespeare is comparing this lady to somebody else, and using these metaphors, and he is painting to us a picture of a woman who doesn't really look so lovely, right? So murag mashock ka. So what is really the point? And he surprises us with the clincher, with the conclusion, which goes like this: and yet by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. So this means that even with that, love niya ang girl, right? Nga, unlike those nga ilahang gi-portray in traditional love poetry. In short, I mean, it means nga Shakespeare, the persona in Shakespeare's poems, is in Shakespeare's sonnet, is trying to tell us that yes, he can see the flaws of this woman. Iyang gi-enumerate na ng flaws, the bodily flaws, the way she speaks, the way she walks, iyang breath, etc. But still, he loves her despite these things, right? So isn't that beautiful? Yeah, the poem is irreverent, definitely, but it is a sincere love poetry. So that's why it's understandably clear why it's one of the most popular sonnets as well. But the most popular is Sonnet 116. Okay? So I like it. I like this. That's why ako ni siyang gipili kay 116 man this is quite straightforward, and the message is clear. It's about love. That love is forever. Klaro na siya daan, first line pa lang. But then for Sonnet 130, it plays with our minds, right? Kaya kanang unsa man jud pasabot nimo Shakespeare nga sige makagpanaway. But then he catches us with that clincher, with that powerful sweet clincher. Ana siya. So that's it. That's it about the sonnets, and I hope that you understand more of it through the discussion. And if you still have questions, please feel free to post it in the comment section, and well, yeah, you can like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Well, this is for the class, so I will not really make it a requirement, but then just by you watching this to catch up with the lesson is already good enough. So thank you so much. And by the way, midterm exam on Friday, and I will post the assignments later today. So that's it. Thank you so much, and goodbye.